Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7. Now today, got some more Guild War for you guys. This time around, we're going to be attacking the guild, well, it's a Brazilian guild, I think it is. I don't know how to pronounce that beginning part of it. There's a lot of I's, M's, I's, and N's. But anyway, let's go ahead and start with the joke of the day from me. I once knew a guy who crossbred insects for fun. I liked the guy at first, but eventually got tired of his crazy antics. Huh? Oh man, we all have a friend like that. You just get tired of all their crazy shenanigans that are going on, right? Alright, let's go ahead and jump into the first match. Picked out this tower here because they have some pretty strong defenses, actually. For the first team, we have Senya, Shu, and Meru, actually triple DPS, RGB setup. An RGB setup is actually kind of difficult to fight, because typically if you bring an RGB counter, let's say you bring like an Earth unit to counter Senya and Shu together, like a Lencia, for example, you get screwed over by the Meru, right? There's always something to catch you off guard. But for this team here, we're going to be showcasing our Lionheart Sirmia, and it's because I believe a lot of you guys have been asking recently about whether or not you should go for Lionheart Sirmia or Last Rider Crow in the Mystic Summons, and the advice I've been giving a lot of people in the comments is go for Lionheart Sirmia because she just has more applicability in the long term, right? She's really strong, and there's never going to be a shortage of units that are meta that are going to counterattack, extra attack, or dual attack. So she is definitely one of the best ways to go. Mine does need a little bit of tweaking. I actually have kind of a better build. That's a bit of more bulk, 100% crit rate, and just a little bit a reduction in speed, right? So I will hopefully be able to do that. I popped a free on equip today, and we'll get to it if we have the materials. Farming Banshee in the background, by the way. Make sure you guys are doing your background battling for your hunts. Alright, anyway, let's go ahead and continue here. Pylus is going to be the damage mitigator. There's so many extra attacks, dual attacks, and counter attacks on the other side that definitely going to need an Aureus holder for one, and she's definitely going to be really tanky here as well. Now, I haven't switched her away from this HP boot. I think she's actually pretty good on a random HP boot here. Obviously this is not the stats that you want on a counter boot for her. I don't have anything better, but all I needed to do was bulk her up. She doesn't really need the speed in this fight. Next up, we got Rowana. Rowana's here to kind of soak up some of the damage that's going to be coming in and healing the team as a result, especially with the Senya attacks. She's on Celestine, so when I attack the Senya, I get extra heals from the S1 and from the counter. So, bottom team over here, we got ML Landy, ROL, and Aiden. So, going into this, I'm going to bring my Sea Lilias, because the units on the other side are all pretty slow, at least slower than my Sea Lilias over here. She's going to be pretty reliable in giving our team the Vigor buff. Now, Vigor buff is going to be really strong for my Kawazu, because I basically don't need anyone to proc his Vigor from his S2, so I don't need to get hit by an AoE, and I'll be able to ignore resistance right off the bat with his S3. Now, obviously, in order to kill something like an ML Landy outright, I don't have the stats for it, but Zahhak's S2 actually gives an attack buff. So with his attack buff on his S2, we should actually be able to, in combination with the Vigor, one-shot the Landy, and Zahhak himself with Symbol of Unity should be able to take out the Aiden, right? So let's go ahead and jump into it, see what we can do. Hopefully everything goes according to plan. Alright, I think what I'll do here is I'll go for the Meru, because I know Meru has a chance to counter. Most Merus in Guild Wars are on a counter set. This one seems like she's a little bit faster than usual, probably on a speed boot. Right, and Meru, and then Senya's gonna go for her S3. Now, the good thing about Lionheart here is that you get to cleanse yourself of these debuffs, so we don't really care about what's going on here. Popping Rowana's heals because Meru is about to S3, and it's gonna hurt quite a bit. Alright, so at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna S3 the Senya over here. S3 in the Senya, just so she counters me. Lionheart's about to go if you look at the combat readiness bar here. So we see, oh, actually, Shu gets the counter first. That's perfectly fine. Lionheart gets the proc. We get a defense buff here. and we are good to let it rip. Pilot's going to be tanking most of the damage, and it's a good thing I put her on an HP boot, because otherwise she's going to be struggling quite a bit. Now, here's the downside. Lionheart doesn't do anything against anti-crit, right? So it's very 50-50 as to whether or not I hit these units, but if I do, she's going to hit like a truck. Alright, so there we go. We actually land the crit on Shu. Magic of Friends and the counters start coming out here. Magic for Friends is actually okay, because look at the heals on my Pilus here. The second hit's always weaker, and so we do actually get a net gain of heals on her. Let's go ahead and try to finish off this Meru now. Alright, there we go. Finished her off, so she no longer has her attack buff. Her attacks won't hurt nearly as much. And we will try our best to take her out. She resisted the provoke, but that's fine. Alright, so with Lionheart, I'm just going to go with an S1. We still have a defense buff here from the Pilus, so there we go. Take out that Shu. Now watch this. I S1, Pilus gets healed by the Celestine, and boom, we get healed yet again. So Pilus looking pretty healthy now. We get another Lionheart proc. So you can essentially use Senya's on defense team against them. Right, and let us go for another S3 here. Now, the downside is this. If your opponent has an effectiveness Senya, they can actually provoke you with this S1 in the counter. Let's see if they have enough effectiveness for it. Not enough. Alright, or we just got lucky. Now I'm going to go ahead and Soul Burn and finish off the Shu, or at least try to. But there we go, get another proc from that counter. Really, really nice. She's gonna foosh, but that's okay. Ooh, she's actually on Ed's artifact. Very interesting. So we're gonna go ahead and try to chip her down. The reason we're focusing on her, actually, I'm gonna use this on the Senya, because look, the Celestine heal on that Pilus, boom, the counter attack heal on the Pilus. She healed so much health right there. Absolutely insane. And now we just let rip another S3. Look, Lionheart is super consistent, and you can take down these meta defense teams really easily. Also really accessible in RTA, right? You can use her against a variety of teams. Really strong against ML Landy as well, with the right team comp, of course. Okay, so as I predicted, the team is going to be relatively slow, so we're going to go ahead and pop our Vigor buff here. Vigor is actually huge. A lot of people don't understand how much of a difference 30% attack and defense really is for the team. I see that Aiden is going to be going. Now, I don't really want Aiden to S3 my Kawazu, so I'm just going to go ahead and redirect Provoke. She will still attack Kawazu, I think. He's the highest health. However, this Aiden is, that's if she survives, right? This is just a failsafe, just in case. So let's go for an S3 here. There is anti-crit on the other team, though. Do keep that in mind. The Landy is there. There is an anti-crit, so we did miss the crit right there, which is very unfortunate. But it's okay. We still have our attack buff, vigor buffed Kawazu. And this is why I made sure to provoke that Aiden, just in case we missed that kill. Nice. We got the burns on her. Unfortunate, she actually goes for the salvo. Luckily, it doesn't really do anything except give Kawazu a extra vigor buff here. So that's pretty good. He is actually going to get stripped, so that's kind of unfortunate. Alright, but we build him tanky. Oh, that dual attack was actually huge. Ooh, the salvo as well. That's not looking too good. Alright. So, let us go for the Landy here. We can only bring Zahak, and he does crit, but it's not going to be enough. Ooh, and the Landy salvos yet again! Alright, here's the thing. We're going to Soul Burn this. There we go. We do end up killing. Very, very nice. Kawazu is probably going to be going down here, which is very unfortunate, but it kind of is what it is. Aiden still hasn't countered yet, so she might finish off the Kawazu, and then it's going to be Zahak that's left to deal with this Aiden. Let's try and chop down this R-wall, though. Alright, she is going to S3 us. Alright, Kawazu's gonna go down. Even that S3 didn't really do all that much damage, though, which is good for me. Let me go for a redirect. Actually, no, there's no point in doing that, because if I redirect Provoke here, the Aiden's just gonna attack Ceolilius anyway. But we have our S2, S3 back up, so let's go for this. And we'll S3 into the Aiden. She no longer has the anti-crit buff. So we'll go into her here. This is not a terrible team to take into something like this, but obviously you want to make sure that you have a fail-safe, right? See, Lilius in this case was great to provoke the Aiden, so that I don't just immediately implode to an S3. But yeah, there you go. We had to sacrifice our Amo Kawazu, but he definitely got the job done here. And that is the first battle done. Pretty clean, although we didn't come out unscathed. Alright, so we're going to go into a pretty interesting team down here. And I believe it is this one. Yes, indeed. So this defense team, lets me showcase Lionheart against Emma Landy in a more controlled environment, not in RTA. Lionheart's really good into Emma Landy here. She's really easy actually to beat on a Guild Wars defense team as opposed to an RTA team, right? So we've already seen the stats of the top team over here. Nothing has changed. But what has changed is the bottom team, and we're going up against Zio, Spirit Eye Celine, and Karina. So into a Zio team, I'm actually going to be bringing in this fun little team down here, featuring General Purgus. Now, my General Purgus is built as a bruiser. He's actually built pretty tanky, and he's not actually on a really good artifact Midnight Bloom to help him crit a little bit more, because he's just lacking in that crit rate department. But with General Purgus over here, he's the only unit that can be hit on my team, and he gets to increase combat readiness of all allies by a ton of percentage points, 18% to be exact. Now that's when he's hit, but how do I guarantee that he gets hit? When there's a Zio on the other side, and he's going to attack the fastest unit, which is Flitica. Well, that's pretty simple. Zio's a single target unit, so Flitica is going to be on Guiding Light, meaning she can't be hit on the first turn. And you know what? Same goes for Watcher Shuri. I actually put him on the plus 30 Guiding Light just to increase his attack a bit more. His job is to one-shot the Karina on the other team. There's no damage mitigation, so we should be able to do it. General Purgus has an attack buff on his S3. It's a little speed RNG as to who goes first, but hopefully General Purgus does, and then we will be fine. If he doesn't, then it should still be okay. We can use Watcher Shuri to whittle down the Karina, and then hopefully the other units can clean up. Alright, so at this point right here, we are attack downed, but that's perfectly fine. Attacking the Landy, you know, you can try to proc the counter from her. You can attack an ally as well. There's a chance that she'll Elbrus you as too. But attacking her directly increases your odds of getting countered, because counter sets 30%. Meanwhile, Elbrus, most people have plus 15 is 15%, and even max it's only 20%. Right? Thankfully, Palace is going to go ahead and strip the Landy of her barrier. That's actually going to help us out quite a bit. The extra attack here helping our Lionheart too. So let's go ahead and heal up our Pilus. She's going to be taking a lot of damage from the Sea Lilia's dual attack. Hopefully it's not going to be bringing the Landy. Oh, and of course it does, right? Of course it does. And she salvos yet again. Thankfully, though, this heals up the Pilus to full health. And then we can let rip our Lionheart's S3. We end up critting the Sea Lilius. Not too bad there. Senya really not taking all that much damage. At this point, I could hit the Senya. There's no reason for me to kind of risk it here. I'm actually going to finish off the Sea Lilius, or at least try to. Palace is going to hit the Senya. She's going to counter, which procs the Lionheart, which is really good for me. It's exactly what I wanted. Right, and we are now just waiting for the Sea Lilius to... Well, for the Lionheart to take the next turn. What I could do is actually go ahead and hit the Senya here, so she can counter. Pilus provoking the Landy is actually really good for me, so that I don't have to face the wrath of an S3 potentially coming in. Alright, so there we go. And Sea Lilia should be going down this time around. It's S3. Now, you saw there the Nostalgic Music Box on the Sea Lilius actually proc. She gave them a Landy a defense buff, which makes her even tankier. Should be illegal, but here we are. We crit the Senya, we cleanse the Provoke off of us, and now we get to S3 again on our next turn. So you see how useful Lionheart is, right? In these types of situations, you're never really in any danger of dying. And actually, while we're on that note, I'm just going to hit this Landy here. So the Landy, as long as she's provoked by the Pilus, will never get to S3. And because we're on counter set, it's actually going to help us out with more chances to provoke. Right, and there we go. Got double counters over here, but again, look at this. Lionheart's going to proc again. This time around, we can't actually S3. She can S3 3 times in a row, but then after that, we got to wait another turn. Alright, so let us go for a hit on the Landy. Oh, a nice little dual attack, helping us speed things along. But again, we're in no rush, right? This Landy over here is not going to even do anything. And we'll let rip another S3. So there we go. And even though we didn't crit, finished off both of them. And that is it for the first fight. Now for the second one. Gonna jump in here. Can't wait. Look at this double stealth team. I absolutely love it. When he hits this General Purgus, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, General Purgus won't be able to attack buff the Watcher Shuri because he's going to be silenced, unfortunately. But that's still okay. What I could do is just go for an S3. I'm going to reset the Spirit Eye Celine. Going to make sure that she can't use her S3. There we go, beautiful. Pushed up the team. We can use Watcher Shuri's S3. He does 100% defense penetration, so he should be able to, yeah, one-shot that Karina right there. Absolutely beautiful. Now, General Purgus is the only one that can be hit. The skill nullifier helping me out. Ooh, the Spirit Eye Celine taking a Dust Devil, though. That is actually really, really bad. I need to finish off this Celine soon. Okay, let's go ahead and S2 here. Try and turn cycle the team a little bit. Watcher Shuri, let's go for an S2, because I want to finish off that Spirit Eye Celine, right? And let's try to blind the Zeo. Nope, he's going to resist there, so down goes the General Purgus. Luckily, everyone else has a skill null on them, and we should be able to lap him here and try to take him out. Come on, let's get a blind going. There we go, very nice. Blind chance, he is going to hit the Flitica. She's going to go down. Ooh, he does miss though. Oh, just barely. Uh-oh. Wait, are we going to die? No! The Zeo took us out. Oh, shoot. Oh, man, that is really, really sad there. I don't know how I feel about that. We pretty much had it, right? But he was lapping us really, really bad because he was able to kill that General Purgus. Super sad, but you know what? That's fine. I'll take the L. Well, thankfully, we have one last tower left to go, and it is going to be the Stronghold. We didn't attack any of the main towers today because they were all taken down by the time I got home from work. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into this fight over here. Karina, Winter, and Senya are the top team. It's also a pretty common defense that I'm seeing nowadays, but I've been finding great success into the Winter teams with Yolha. So Yolha's a fantastic tank into Winter, especially because if you get low enough, Yolha actually just cleanse herself and push herself up, and hopefully you can use her true damage to kind of take out the Karina or the Senya. Now, when we have here is, in order to bait the Karina so she doesn't go into my Lionheart, I have Ed. And this is my speed Ed right here. He's actually not too terrible as a Karina bait, especially in Guild Wars. He can get hit, get defense broken, counterattack, and all those shenanigans. His AoE can actually knock Winter out of stealth, so we're looking forward to that. And to kind of counteract this potential counter Karina, but also the counter buff on the Senya, we're bringing in the Lionheart Sirmia. Ed's also pretty good into Senya, but Lionheart Sirmia is the star of the show today, and we're just using her on the stats that you've seen before. For the bottom team, we got Lua, Aravi, and Meru. So in order to tank the Aravi, which is the main threat on the other team, we got our Magic Scholar Doris. She's going to be pretty good at just controlling this Aravi's attacks, making sure my other units don't get hit. Speaking of which, we're going to be bringing in our Benimaru, and Benimaru is going to be a fantastic unit here into Lua, because when she takes an extra turn, it procs his multi-layer barrier, and then we can go ahead and try and defense break the opponent's Aravi, or just take out the Meru. But in case something does go wrong, we have our APOC Ravi on our side as well. These are her stats, and we'll be using her to kind of whittle down this Meru, and also injury down the opponent's APOC Ravi. Right, so let's go ahead and jump into it, and hopefully this time we won't int like in the last in the last round. But let's go. Alright, Yolha is going to be taking a bunch of damage here. Now, the safer way to go, instead of putting her on Aureus, you can actually put this Yolha on, ooh, do I want to S3? No, I'm just going to S1 here. You can actually put the Yolha on Holy Sacrifice if you have a maximum broken one. And that way, she won't accidentally get taken out and be useless. If she does get taken low and accidentally taken out by like Winter Splash damage, you can revive her. Alright, but Ed is going to, look at that, see, counters, gets his Winter out of the stealth, which is fantastic. And at this point, I think what I'll do is, Ed is already provoked onto the Senya, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit the Winter here. Alright, and the speed down on the Yolha, that's perfectly fine. This actually kind of sucks because Ed is provoked. He's going to cleanse the provoke first, and the defense break might stick. Yep, there we go. So he is going to take quite a bit of damage. Let us go for an S3 onto this Senya. I know I'm blinded, but that's okay. Or sorry, not blinded. I'm defense broken, but that's okay. Because when Senya counters, it'll cleanse the Ed, and then we get the provoke. But we also get the Lionheart Surmia proc. Winter does proc over here. But we are okay. Ed is going to counter yet again, because he got a debuff on him. Finishes off the Senya, actually. Pretty huge. And now we get to S3. This Karina got a defense buff, but she actually doesn't have her S3 anymore, because she already used it. Winter goes down here. It is a counter Karina. But now it's just us versus her, right? And with Yolha here on my side, it's actually going to help out quite a bit. So Karina being on counter helps me out by healing up my Lionheart. Ed did not get defense broken there. Pretty good. Let's go for another S3 on Lionheart. And yeah, you can see again just how consistent she is into so many different units. Obviously, I've been abusing the Senya on the defense teams here, but you can use her into like even counter units, just basic counter units. They will eventually counter you, and you get to punish them for it. Right, and now Yolha is ready to go. So if she does get low enough, she will proc, although I don't think Karina will ever attack her. Even then, Lionheart with a Soul Burn finishes her off. And that's round number 1 done. Lionheart, so super consistent, right? So if this is anything for you guys to take away, is that if you want to get Lionheart and you're thinking twice about it, don't. She's such a game-changing unit. And in RTA, she can just punish her opponent for randomly 3%ing you. And that's always fun. Because this Meru actually has immunity on her, I'm going to go an S3 into the APOC Ravi. This way we can try to defense break her, or she can just 15% us. That's also perfectly fine. You know, it's not like I wanted that defense break or anything. Alright, Meru actually seems really tanky here, so that's a bit of an issue. Doris, though, also pretty tanky as well. Let's go ahead and heal up. The Beguile is going to do a little bit of damage, but not too much. We can try to whittle down this Meru right now. Alright, so let's try to soften her up. She's going to Magic for Friends. That's actually going to hurt quite a bit. I don't really like that. My Benimaru. He's seen better days. Alright, but look at this. Doris now is in a prime position to heal up the Benimaru. Actually, Benimaru's just healed himself up by this. There we go. Sigurd's Scythe helping us out there. And APOC Ravi, we can actually just go into the Meru again. With Doris, do I want to push up the Benimaru, or do I want to just hit the... Do I go greedy? I think I go greedy here. Let's finish off the Meru. There we go. Very nice. And we get another multi-layer barrier. There we go. Cleansing, pushing ourselves up. So there we go. Multi-layer barrier prevents any effects here, so we are immune to this reset from the Lua. And if A Ravi is not on counter, she'll never actually be able to hit anybody else besides the Doris. Right, so we're in a pretty good position. Let's try to injury her down now, so she can do less and less damage over time. Ooh, Doris actually looking pretty low right now. There we go. Nice little miss there. And now we're going to be able to use our Benimaru. I'm going to go and Soul Burn this into the Lua. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Healing up quite a bit. Let's do the Doris heal as well. And let's injury down the A Ravi. There we go. So she's going to S3, but with a 20k HP A Ravi into a defense buff Doris, even with no damage mitigation, we are very, very safe. And now we S3. Come on, don't you dare 15% defense. Oh my gosh, you did it again. Maybe it's a resist A Ravi, who knows, right? I highly doubt it, but alright, here we are. Doris barely living there, but you know, she's holding out strong. We can heal herself back up to full with her S3. And now it's about time to rip our A Ravi S3, and let's see if we can get this kill. Oh yeah, easily. Right, and that is just about it. So pretty clean Guild War overall. I placed a lot of trust in my Doris when it comes to tanking A Ravis. You guys always see it's a nail biter at the end. Alright, but with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more Epic 7 content. And until next time, take care.